My name is Greg. I am a co-founder of Growbots. The company does sales automation product. And today I wanted to tell you a few things about our journey from zero to $1 million in annual revenue. And I want to tell you our story because what I realized after failing at scaling 3 companies before this one is that actually when it comes to doing business, and I mean go-to-market strategy as business, it's pretty boring. So it's just like taking a strategy that somebody used before and basically implementing it to your company. So yeah, we just did it. It works, and I want to tell you how we did it. When it comes to building your own product, you obviously have to be very creative. So be creative when you build a product, not be creative when you try to sell what you do. Just copy and paste whatever is successful for the others. So the biggest milestone for small and early stage SaaS companies is to hit $1 million run rate. It means that when you take your monthly revenue and multiply it by 12 months, you get like the minimum revenue that you will generate within the next year. And people like Jameson Lemkin call it impossible. So I think it's scary, but in fact it's not. We've done it in 7 months. Our plan was to do it in 12 months. Actually, we are trying to hit 2 million in 12 months, and we are on a good way to do it. And I want to show you the strategy that helped us to scale from 0 to about 300 demos that we've been doing in just 4 months. And I want to show you the strategy that we used, that is based on outbound sales, that some people mistake with sending spam or this kind of stuff, because as you can see, when we send our emails to potential customers, we get more than 10% people interested in seeing our product, which means that our conversion rate is like 5 times higher than what you get from AdWords. So comparing to advertisement, we are much more interesting for the end users. So the next lesson that I've learned from failing at scaling 3 previous businesses is that people don't fucking care about your product. So they will not come to you at the early stage of your product development because they don't know who you are. You have no reputation. You can turn it around later on, rely on inbound sales strategy, but you need to scale. You need to get some traction. You need to get some customer success. And the reason for it is something that is called 9x effect. So when you build your product, you actually think it's 3 times better than it is. And to make things worse, your customers think that what they actually do right now is 3 times better than it is. So altogether, this is 9 times gap between the expectations. So customers think they don't need your product much more than you think. So you need to get in front of those people. You need to hustle hard. You need to show them that you are better and you can help them to make their business better. And you have 3 options when you want to do it. So first one is marketing, the second one is organic growth, and the third one is outbound sales. When it comes to marketing, it's super sexy to say, like, I'll just write those crazy good blog posts that people will love and I will get shitloads of inbound leads. In fact, it's very exceptional. So usually it takes years to build up a proper content marketing strategy, get in front of a lot of people, and it can be a great leverage for your growth, but I wouldn't rely on it at the very beginning when you want to get scale. That translates into organic growth. It's hard to get growth when you only have a few customers that can refer you to other few customers, and this growth will be very slow. And the third option is to do outbound sales. So go to your customers directly. You can basically create a list of all of the potential customers that might buy your product and send them an email, call them, do whatever you want just to get in front of those people. And I didn't mention paid advertisement on purpose because at the beginning of your stage you can't simply afford it. So just last week I've burned like fucking $5,000, or on Google Ads I've generated about like 40 demos. So yeah, it's working. I will make my money back, but it's super expensive. So in this presentation, I wanted to tell you more about outbound sales, because this is what we do. This is how we've built our pipeline. This is how we scaled to more than $1 million. And being an early stage company, you always have limited resources, limited budget, so you need to be very efficient. And to be efficient in outbound sales, you need to combine three things: automation, personalization, and testing. Just before we start, is it clear enough what is outbound sales for everybody, or I have to get more into details? Okay, good. So let's start with automation. So the old school way of doing outbound sales is to take a phone and call everybody that might be interested in your product. The problem is that it is not really scalable. So you can probably do about 8 calls an hour, then you do about 64 calls a day, which translates into about 1 demo scheduled a day and 24 demos scheduled a month. Sounds good, but what about, like, how would you generate 100? You simply can't without hiring 3 more people. So this is the problem that that doesn't appear when you do other strategy that is called cold mailing. So you basically start sending emails to all of the people that might be interested in your product instead of calling them. And as you can see, the sample cold mailing funnel looks like this. So you send about 100 emails a day with 3.5% conversion rate to a demo. You get about 70 demos scheduled each month, out of which you can close about 7 deals. And if you need more, you just send more emails because you automated the process. And I will show you how to automate it in a second. You can basically send not 100, but 500 emails a day, or even more. So the problem is that the process is very time consuming if you don't automate it. So you have to find a way of getting in front of a list of companies that might be interested in buying your product. You need to check a few different things about their business. So for example, when we are qualifying the companies that we are going to contact, we are checking if the company is founded, how many people work there, how big is the team, how expensive is their product. So if they have a product that is worth at least $500 a month as one of the pricing options, and this kind of stuff. So it's very time consuming if you do it manually. Then you have to go, for example, to LinkedIn and find all of the people at this company that might be interested in talking to you. Next thing to do is to generate the contact details of this person. This can be also a pain in the ass. There are like many ways of doing it for free and manually, but it just takes ages. Then you need to send them those emails. 1 email is not enough. You need to send like 8 to 12 emails until you get the final response, and you shouldn't give up after just a few. You have to send the email until everyone in the company tells you no, go fuck yourself, or yes, which is a much better option. Then you have to spend time on responding all of the questions, etc., etc. As you can see, it might just be as time consuming as cold calling people. So when you look at the typical workflow, you would spend like 80% of your time on prospecting, which is like finding right companies and right people there. Then you would spend the next big portion of your day on sending those emails, and you basically have no time left on talking to the warm opportunities, so people who are interested in talking to you. So what we do with outbound sales automation is taking care of all of the manual shit that is happening before you have a person that is interested in talking to you about your product. And this way, our own SDRs, we have 12 of them right now, spend like half an hour a day on identifying companies and sending emails, and the rest of the day they can focus on talking to people who want to learn more about our product, schedule a demo. We can make sure that nobody slips off the pipeline because we forgot to follow up with this person, etc. So how we automated the process. First stage is to set up your ICP, which stands for Ideal Customer Profile, based on the criteria that can be automatically tracked in the internet. So those can be, for example, company location that you can check on LinkedIn automatically, company industry, you can also check it, for example, on LinkedIn automatically, company founding, which you can see on Crunchbase and AngelList. You can also qualify companies based on web traffic, for example, if you do some e-commerce business. And you can use Alexa to get all of the stats automatically. You can check what kind of software products they are using. There are many products that allow you to track this. You can check how many social media followers they have, which also translates into customer base quite nicely. You can use lists such as, for example, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, etc., etc. So do whatever you can to describe your target with things that you can find in the internet, so you don't have to go on the website one by one and check everything about their business, because it will take you ages. The next thing is to get a list of all of the decision makers that are matching your profile. So here also, just focus on a few job titles. Try to use different search engines to find just those people within the companies, not try to check every company LinkedIn and go one by one and check every person, job descriptions, this kind of stuff. And the third part is to get the contact details to the person. So there are a few products that allow you to ping their API and check if the email is existing or not. Or you can basically use our product to do all of it in one place. The next thing is to send those emails. And the best practices here are sending a drip campaign that contains about 4 emails in one campaign. So there is an opening email, then 2 follow-ups, and something called breakup email. In the breakup email, you want to get the final decision. So you need to push people to say either yes or not. So you get the most responses on the first follow-up and the breakup email. Between the messages, you should keep about 2 to 7 days of the delay. We are recently turning more into much more relaxed campaigns than before, because first of all, when you send like 4 emails, 1 a week, you have like 4 weeks to get in front of a person. So the timing is super important when you do sales. Somebody might just get back from holidays and be slammed with work. Somebody might have some troubles at home, like many different shit, or just don't have time to talk to you. So the longer you outreach to the person, the bigger is your chance to actually converting that into a meeting. You should also automatically personalize those messages, and I'll tell you more about that. And your pitch have to be very short, casual, and positive, so you cannot sell in those emails. The purpose of sending emails to people is to get in touch. So you need to tell them what you do, why they should talk to you, but never send them an offer, never talk about pricing, this kind of stuff. And at our team, we are trying to keep the ratio between people who are scheduling meetings to people who are closing the deals as 2 to 1, because it allows us to maximize the efficiency of every salesperson that we have. Every day they have like from 6 to 8 meetings that they are closing, so every hour they are talking to a new customer. And in the US, the standard is about 20, which is super low. It's just like 1 customer per day. If you want to learn more about sending emails and best practices, you can visit the tutorials on our page. And how does it translate into scaling to $1 million in annual run rate? So you can start very slow. So you just need to start from contacting about 1,000 people each month. Your conversion rate will be probably very bad because your email will be very bad. So you'll schedule about like 10 demos a month. And then when you assume that, for example, your product costs $8,000 per year, you give a 1 month free trial, then you probably need about 3 months to close first deals. So as you can see, once you scale, you increase your conversion rate, you start scheduling more and more demos, and you start landing more and more deals. So the beauty of outbound sales is predictability. So there is nothing like, I wrote a shit blog post and nobody shared it, and I don't have leads. You just send emails, you get the same conversion rate, you get the same amount of demos, or if you start sending more or increase your conversion rate, then you just get better and better stats. So this is the perfect way of getting to $1 million at the end, just by adding more and more and more and more business to your pipeline in a very predictable and steady way. Obviously, you can just scale those numbers faster. So, for example, our conversion rate is from 10 to 12. So this means that out of 3,000 companies, we can generate much more business than here, and we also have much higher size of the deal. Personalization, this is the most important thing. So automatic doesn't mean impersonal. People still don't like being treated by the machine. So you have to be smart, because people don't read your emails. People don't fucking care about your emails. People get shitloads of your emails. So you need to be smart and approach them from with such a strategy that they wouldn't realize that it's an automatic email. So how can you do it? There are a few strategies here. So the most important thing is to find the common context. Something that you have in common have to be put in the first sentence of your email. Hey man, we have the same body, Max. Hey man, we've met at this conference. Hey man, I see that you're using this and this product. How about using something else? Hey man, whatever. There is one important thing here. You can basically lie about most of the things, but never lie about reference customers and mutual friends. So this can be easily checked. You can lie, for example, that you've met them at the event. Nobody remembers that. It's hey man, I was last week in New York at the Sales Machine conference. It was nice to meet you at the bar. Easy. Everybody will respond to you because they were drunk and they don't remember. And how does it translate into emails? So this is a sample email that we've sent. And as you can see, it's personalized in a way that we just implement the company name into the title. This kind of title that is mixing your company name and the person name, or for example, person name and just company name, has the highest open rates. As you can see, almost 80% of people open this email, which is pretty high. And then we just tell them that we are both in the SaaS industry and we probably have similar challenges. You can try much harder. And here is the most important stat. So out of this campaign, we've generated 17% people that were interested in seeing a demo of our product. All right, so we have a baseline. It's 17%. We just put the person name and the company, and we wrote an email to SaaS businesses that we just qualified automatically, and we know there are SaaS businesses, so we don't have to put any more personalization. This is like, you can personalize your communication based on segments that you are targeting. And this is the smartest thing to do because it requires no fucking work at all. If you want to be much more personalized, you can do something like, for example, hey man, I really like what are you performing at the company, then and here is a personal note. So for every company that you are contacting, you write a personal note, what you love about them. And look about the success rate, it's the same. So you just spend shitloads of time writing this personal note, and it doesn't really help you to increase your conversion rate. So you have to try a few different strategies and see how much you should invest into personalizing your emails, because in many cases we figured out that we are just wasting our time and people don't care about that. And here is another campaign that we've sent completely automatic. So as you can see, we personalized the company name, we personalized the first name, and then we also segmented companies, but based on the software products they are using. And we sent email saying, hey man, I'm seeing that you are already using some marketing automation technology at your company, so now it's time for sales. What about sales automation? And this campaign brought us about 20% positive responses. So even better than the first benchmark, and much better than the one that we were manually working on. So when you think about your outreach campaign, the first most important thing is to find this common thing with the people that you're writing to that you can also automatically segment out of your database and then just write a funny email. We've discovered that making a lot of jokes that are about like movies, especially like geek things in the startup community are like perfectly good. So the third thing is testing. So we have our data science team at Growbots that is 4 people right now, and we are trying to get as much as we can out of the data from our campaigns and also all of our customers. So as you can see, when you write an email subject, you should be aiming for a subject line that is about 15 words. So be as short as possible, and there is a good reason for it, because if you know how the inbox looks at Gmail, you know that when you just log into your email, you can see the title and the beginning of your email. So if your subject is short, the person can see the first line that you wrote, and this is something attractive to this person because it's personalized. So they will open the email and then they will check the rest of it. Then when you think about writing emails, some people say that you should go either super short or super long. This is the theory from Steli from Close.io. So we kind of checked it, and nope. You should be very, very, you should just,
How many words is the opening?
So it's about 200 words.
200 words?
Yes. I think it should be not words, but letters. Yeah. Yeah, words, it would be too much. Yep. Yeah, definitely it's characters. It should be. My mistake. And then when you look at the data, we also made this research based on how much do we personalize those emails. And that's, as I was trying to explain you before, those personalization events are each thing that you personalize in your email. So 2 is perfectly fine. You have the peak, and then adding more and more and more personalization doesn't really translate into the response rate. It can actually fuck up your conversion. Some people say because it happens because when you get an email and the person knows every fucking thing about you, they're like, whoa, I don't want to talk to this stalker. And the last thing is about title personalization. This is the most important thing, because when you think about it, it's just kind of like I will make this subject line super personalized for people, and then at the end, except for the trick that I showed you, that you just put the company name and person name, you shouldn't actually, when you want to put some message into the subject, you should be writing to people as you are writing to your friends. So if I write the email to Piotr, it's not, Piotr, can I ask you for a coffee? It's just like, are we going for a coffee, man? So write as you are writing to your friends, and don't personalize emails in such a way, because only spammers do it. All right, that's it. Last thing I want to tell you about is that we have a 50% off discount for all of the early stage companies. So if you would love to learn more about like how outbound sales can help your business, just let us know and we will try to help you.
All right, round of applause for that. We have